Good morning, San Diego. This is Mike with Bill Howe with your tip of the day. As we transition into the summer season, it's important for everybody to remember your air conditioning and heating filter. The filter is typically located in your furnace. That could be in your garage or your closet. If it's up in the attic, sometimes people don't want to hop up there, but usually if it's installed in the attic, your filter isn't actually in the furnace itself. It will be in the actual filter return air grill. Many of you probably already do change your filters out pretty regularly, but for those of you that don't, the filter actually is the most important thing you as the homeowner can do to make sure that your system is going to work efficiently and prevents a lot of breakdowns. With a clogged filter, you're putting a lot more strain on the blower motor. You can clog up your heat exchanger inside the furnace. You can also plug up the evaporator coil for your air conditioner in the air conditioning season. If you have a lot of debris and stuff that builds up in there, obviously you think about blowing through a straw. If you pinch that straw down, which is the same as a dirty filter, you got to blow twice as hard to move the same volume of air through that filter. So let's just jump in and show you how this is done on typical systems. It's usually in the bottom half of your furnace cabinet. And to do that, all doors are different. These ones are kind of easy, just these little slides, however yours comes off. A lot of cases, you'll have to take off the top side of the door in order to get the bottom door off, depending on your furnace. So we'll just take both the doors off here to make it easy. In any case, so here's our filter down here at the bottom. Most of the time, they're very easy to slide in and out. Just pop it out like that. That's kind of just a standard 14 by 25 filter. You do want to know, if you are changing out your own filter, that most filters are directional, and they'll have little arrows indicating in which direction that they want the airflow moving. This is what's called an upflow furnace. So if your air comes out of the vents on the ceiling or high up on the wall, that's an upflow. Some houses have vents that come up from the floor. Air's coming up from the floor, that's a downflow. So you want to have the arrows pointing down in the direction that the air is going. So this is an upflow, so we're going to keep those arrows pointed up. Slide it back in. Bottom door on first. Another important thing to remember, most modern furnaces have what's called a blower door safety switch. This is for if you're ever getting in there. You can see there's a lot of wires, a lot of electricity flowing around in there, so this switch will kill the power, so that way if you're, a technician's getting in there or something like that, we're not going to shock ourselves. So we do get a lot of nuisance calls when people change out their filters. If this door switch is not engaged all the way, your furnace won't work. So make sure when you do put the door on that it's secured and on there really tight. Another thing to remember, filters, there's dozens of different sizes, so you want to make sure that you're using the correct size. If you use one that's too small or too big, you're not going to get the proper air movement across there. So they come in all different shapes and sizes. These are just standard 1-inch filters. These typically need to be changed about twice a year for San Diego's climate. The way I remember to change mine is when we do the transition from the time change back and forth. It's just easier for me to remember. I'll change out the filters in my furnace, and then I will also change out the batteries in my smoke alarm. It's just easy to remember when we do the time change. Any case, so yeah, that's the basic tip on how to change out your filter. You can avoid a lot of problems by doing that. Another misconception is, so if you're going to the store and you're, Home Depot, and you're buying the filter, a lot of them have the packaging that say hypoallergenic and this, that, and the other thing. They promise you all these great things that it's doing for your health. Anything in a 1-inch filter platform really doesn't have a whole lot of effect on your health necessarily. It's primarily there just to protect the equipment. So don't, you don't need to spend the $30 on some super awesome filter if it's in a 1-inch platform. They do have bigger filters, more advanced filtration that you can get. Typically you need to have that installed by an HVAC contractor, but anything in the 1-inch filter platform, just a standard pleated filter, $7, $8, $10 at Home Depot, and you should be fine. And again, twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, before we transition into each season. And yeah, that should be it. Stay tuned next time for Bill Howe's next tip of the day.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.